Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to the Spanish Fort Library Wednesday story time. And I'm here with Cupcake at Cupcake's Corgi Cottage. We're glad to be here, aren't we, Cupcake? We are. And I'm enjoying this pretty morning. I'm drinking my coffee out of a Corgi cup. See that Corgi? You can tell Miss Mary likes Corgis. Do you know that's the dog? The kind of dog that Queen Elizabeth loves? She's had a lot of Corgis that have lived in the castle with her. And I have been fortunate to have had 4 Corgis. And right now I live here with Cupcake. Do you want to see Cupcake? Let's see if I can show you Cupcake. Cupcake. Do you see Cupcake? Cupcake. Where's Cupcake? There she is. Hi, Cupcake. Hi, Cupcake. There she is. Say good morning to the children. Well, this morning I thought I'd read you a book that was a favorite story of a little girl I used to take care of. As soon as she'd see me, she'd say, "Read me Robert the Rose Horse." So, this is the book I chose for story time today. And you can tell it's about a horse named Robert. And we're going to find out why he has on a police hat and why there's a rose here. So pay attention. Be sure you listen. This is Robert the Rose Horse. And it's an I Can Read It All by Myself beginner book by Joan Heilbronner. Illustrated by P.D. Eastman. He has illustrated a lot of books, and I like his illustrations. Those are the drawings in the book. So let's see what happens in this story. Robert the Rose Horse. Robert was a happy little horse. He lived on a farm. He lived with his mother and father. You see them up on the porch? Looks like the mother is knitting and the father might be reading the newspaper. One day, Robert had a party. It was his birthday. All his farm friends came to the party. Do you see them all coming with their presents? Oh my goodness, he's getting a lot of presents, and he has a lot of friends, doesn't he? They had a big cake. "Happy birthday, Robert," said all of his friends. "Happy birthday to you." The cake was very pretty. It had big red roses all around. Robert liked those red roses. He put his nose right into one and he took a big sniff. Can you sniff like that? Then Robert got a funny feeling. Uh-oh. Do you see his nose twitching? His eyes began to itch and his nose began to itch, and then kerchoo! Oh my goodness, Robert sneezed, and what a sneeze. Up went his farm friends, up went the cake, up went the roses, and Robert fell down flat. That was a big sneeze. His mother called the doctor, and the doctor looked at Robert. "Say ah," said the doctor. "Ah," said Robert. "Aha," said the doctor. "I know what made him sneeze." "I know I am right," said the doctor. "You will see. Here, Robert, take a little sniff." And he took the roses that Robert had in his room, and Robert put his nose into those roses, and he took a little sniff. Again, his nose began to itch, and his eyes began to itch. Kerchoo! Went Robert. Bang went the window, bang went the door, up went the roses, and the doctor fell flat down. Look at that. That is a big sneeze, isn't it? I was right, said the doctor. Roses are very bad for you. There are too many roses on this farm. You must get away from them. You must go to the city. So Robert had to go. Goodbye, he said to his mother and father. I will be all right in the city. I will find work. I will find a job. And there he goes. See him go with his suitcase? Robert did find a job in the city. He went to work for a milkman. He took the milkman in his wagon all around the city. Look, he pulled a milk wagon. It was a good job, and Robert was happy. Robert liked this kind of job. City has big, tall buildings. Have you ever been to a big city? Then one day, a man walked right next to Robert. The man had a flower in his coat. The flower in his coat was a rose. Uh-oh, a rose. And right under his nose, Robert got that funny feeling again. His nose began to itch and his eyes began to itch. And what do you think's going to happen? Is he going to sneeze? Kerchoo went Robert. Crash went the wagon, splash went the milk, up went the milkman, and the man with the rose fell down flat. Go away, the milkman told Robert. You cannot work for me any more. Oh, poor Robert, he lost his job. So Robert had to look for work again, but it was hard for a horse to find a job. He looked for many days. One day he saw some horses. They had people on them. Say, I could do work like that, said Robert. I will ask for a job. Robert went to the door and a man came out. You look like a good horse, the man told Robert. You can work for me, but you will have to work hard. You will have to do everything you are told. So Robert went to work, and he did just as he was told. When he was told to go slow, he went slow. When he was told to go fast, he went fast. Robert did everything he was told. I like this work, Robert said, and I'm going to keep this job. Then one day he took a woman for a ride. Everything was going well, but all at once, look, the woman said, look at those pretty roses. I want those roses. Robert, take me over there at once. Uh-oh. What could Robert do? He had to do as he was told, so he took the woman to the roses. And again he got that funny feeling. His nose began to itch, his eyes began to itch, and what do you think is going to happen? Kerchoo went Robert. Away went the wagon, away went the flowers, up went the woman, and the flower man fell down flat. Once more, Robert was out of a job. Oh my goodness. Robert had to look for work again. He looked and looked. Fathers had work, mothers had work, everyone had some kind of work. Do you see everybody working? But there were not many jobs for a horse. Robert walked and walked. He looked and looked. Then at last, Robert saw something. He saw a job he could do. What is that? He could be a police horse. Join now, be a police horse. See at the police station. I will go in. I will ask for the job, he said. When Robert came out, he was a police horse. That's why he had that hat on, remember? And the cover of the book? That's a policeman's coat and hat. He was a good police horse. He did all kinds of police work. Look, he's helping the kitty cats cross the street, and he's helping that little boy cross the street. One day, Robert worked on Bank Street. Some men came down the street. 3 men. One of them had a black bag. Do you see the 3 men? And they went into a bank. Robert did not see them. He was busy helping people cross the street, wasn't he? Then all at once someone called out, "Help! Police! Help!" Robert looked around. He saw the 3 men. They were robbers. They were bank robbers. They had gone in to get money out of the bank that didn't belong to them. The robbers ran right at Robert. They ran right over him, and away they went. There they go down the street. Robert got up fast. He had to stop those robbers. But how? How could he do it? And then Robert saw a rose. It was not a very big rose, but it was a rose. Do you see it in the little girl's hair? Robert began to think. He began to think fast. Robert went over to that rose and he put his nose right in that rose and he took a sniff, a big, big sniff, and he began to get that old funny feeling. His eyes began to itch, his nose began to itch. Then, what is he going to do? Robert sneezed. Kerchoo! Never was there a sneeze like it. Away went cats, away went hats, up went dogs, down came birds, bang went the guns, up went the black bag, and the robbers fell down flat. Hooray! Hooray for Robert! Everyone yelled. The bankman was happy. The policemen were happy. Everyone was happy. Robert had stopped the robbers. He had sneezed the robbers flat. See that? They're putting them in the police wagon. The next day there was a party. It was for Robert. His mother and father came. His farm friends came. The doctor came. Do you see all of them? And the policeman came too. Then one of them got up. Robert, he said, I have something for you. Roses, yelled the doctor. Hold on to your hats. Here comes a sneeze. Robert will sneeze us all the way to Chicago. It said, thank you, Robert. It was a wreath made out of roses, and they were putting it over Robert's head. Oh, no. Robert took a little sniff. His nose did not itch. His eyes did not itch. Then Robert took a big, big sniff. He did not get that funny feeling. That big kerchoo had done it. Robert at last was all sneezed out, and roses never made Robert sneeze again. Wasn't that a good story? And you know what? They dedicated it. The lady that wrote this story dedicated this book to Troop B of the New York's Mounted Police. That is, in New York City, they do have policemen that ride horses, and I think we have some in Mobile that ride horses too. So, and we have a lot of pretty roses. Do you know where we have some pretty roses? Down in Fairhope, around near the pier, they have a rose garden. It's so pretty this time of year. If you haven't ever seen that, that makes a nice drive to drive down and just drive around the rose garden and see all the pretty roses. And today, I thought for a craft, I'd show you some roses that I made out of clay. Do you see those roses? And do you know how you can do that? Remember the Play-Doh we made last week? You can take Play-Doh and just make it very, very flat. Like a patty cake, baker's man. Bake me a cake as fast as you can. You know that song? And as you do that, you can just make your Play-Doh very, very flat and thin. And then just very gently roll it up. Roll it. A friend taught me how to do this. She makes her food look real pretty like this. And so she tried it with clay. And do you see when I rolled it up? Look, I got a rose. I just rolled it up. Then you can make you can take off one end of it, make it like a little stem. You can just roll it between your fingers. And you know, you could color the Play-Doh pink. So the rose would be pink or blue or whatever color you'd like your rose to be. Or you can let this rose dry and then you could paint it pink or red. What other colors are there? I know down at Fairhope Pier, I think some are orange and some are yellow. There's all different colors of roses. So that's something you can do with Play-Doh, and you might make a whole little bouquet like this. I did these with Sculpey clay, which is a good clay that you have to bake that clay after you roll it out. And then I made some green. I bought some green and some that was this color and baked it and made a whole little bouquet of roses. So I hope you like the story about Robert and the rose horse. And I am so glad you came today. And I hope you have a wonderful Wednesday and that you'll be back next Wednesday for another story. Bye-bye. Oh, Cupcake wants to say goodbye. Sorry. Can you wave bye-bye? There she goes. Bye bye.